Jay Krez. You all listen to Mild Sauce Radio. We're back once again. We've been live all day today. It's a Saturday. We had a lot of time, so we just figured we'd grace y'all with our presence. It's Mild Sauce Live, so of course it's me, Jay Krez, my man Ryan.
Yo.
He's a man of few words at the moment. Souls of Liberty in the building. We've been graced with the presence of some friends from up north in Milwaukee. My friend Anthony Dopik's in the house. What's going on, Anthony?
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm good, bro. Thank you for stopping down, taking the trips out.
Appreciate you inviting us out here.
Absolutely, man. Anthony is a party connoisseur up north, a manager, a music, everything. Like, tell us a little bit. I'm not doing you justice right now.
No, you're right. I am an ex-party thrower. That's where I really came up. Done a lot of managing for artists, A&Ring, PR, basically everything you can name. I've now transitioned into writing shows and hosting shows and kind of that whole entertainment side of things. So, that's what I'm really moving into right now.
Yeah, and that's what brings us together tonight. We're going to be working together. We're working on producing a new show called Driven, which is going to be premiering on Mild Sauce very soon. Yes, you guys listen to the radio. You might have seen our live stuff, but what you haven't seen yet is our next endeavor, which is in the works right now. It's where Anthony comes in. Anthony's been doing a lot of cool stuff on YouTube. Interviewing different artists, like getting the whole vibe of things, working on getting behind the scenes with artists and digging into the story a little bit. Tell us about Driven and what your whole idea is with the series that you've already been developing and that we're going to continue to do so in the future.
Yeah, well, Driven started. I was recently in a situation in music where I was working with an artist and his management, and we just didn't work out. And I was like trying to think of the next thing, and it just seemed to me that music was just not my thing for the time being. I needed to dip into something else. So I called my homie Brett up, and he shoots and he does videos, and I was like, we got to make a show, and we're going to call it Driven. Really influenced by Blueprint on Complex. Love getting to know artists and entrepreneurs, and they're learning their minds and hoping to teach other young entrepreneurs how to kind of start thinking and ways to get in the game and express themselves.
100%. I think it's a great concept in the fact that, the independent nature of music today, or the fact that so much, especially from the Midwest, like Chicago, Milwaukee, you got people come out of Indianapolis, Detroit, all of it's very independent. So, the business, understanding the background and business side, you brought up when you said Blueprint from Complex, the episode with Pat Corcoran, which was so great. Mm-hmm. I think, people getting to understand the story of how Chance came to be and how all that came about is so important as well. You're coming out of Milwaukee, where I think you guys have really picked up on what's been happening in Chicago. Brian is from St. Louis, so he also the scene down there with Smino and everything, Bari and everybody coming out of St. Louis. We kind of have a nice trifecta here. I didn't even realize it just now. But tell us a little bit about you're digging into some of the past of some you said not only the artists but the management, the other people that are auxiliary members of a team. Yeah. What are some of the things you've noticed or you've learned that maybe coincide with what's happening in the scene in Milwaukee right now?
Yeah, well, there's a lot going on in the scene in Milwaukee. A lot of things are transitioning from just people not wanting to always be an artist and not wanting them to be everyone wanted to be a rapper for a while. And I think right now it's in that weird phase where there's certain rappers and singers, whatever, entertainers who are in front of the camera that are starting to realize that they are more interested in transitioning behind the camera, and it's really balancing and working out correctly right now, and it's coming together really well. We got a lot of good people who work behind the scenes, and they're really starting to push our artists more now and give them new opportunities, and that's why I think Milwaukee's scene right now is coming pretty fast, at a fast pace. There's a few highlight artists that we can speak about that have done a good amount of good online and are really, just working their way in right now.
No, and that's real. I mean, you mentioned it's funny you mentioned artists who maybe have dabbled in music and done their thing and maybe saw the game, figured out what it was, and then transitioned onto the other side. it's something that I've seen a lot here in Chicago as well. I mean, you have a lot. I think a lot of the reason that the scene here is like flourished so much is you had that early wave of like, you know, Treated Crew, and even before that, GLC, those kinds of cats who are still around every day, still talking to everybody, like, you know, imparting that knowledge and stuff. And even more so, I mean, the first one who comes to mind is my man Pharaoh, who's throwing like some of the coolest parties down here in Chicago right now, and are just chilling. And you know, he was a rapper. He's been in music forever. He kind of found this really great niche for himself, where he's now doing some like the most cool, like tailored events in the city, and that all comes from the knowledge he had from being an artist and like moving in those circles and stuff. It's interesting, like that, like the parallel between the two cities. You know what I mean?
I think having empathy and kind of looking at someone else's side of things really pays off in the end. Really, and it helps others kind of come and figure out what they want to do with their lives. And once you start to think about other people, such as artists to managers, vice versa, things just work out for the better, and you start to come into your own. So that's what's kind of happening with me right now, and kind of what happened with Driven. I wanted to share stories of entrepreneurs who I have a good eye and ear for things that have a bright future ahead of them, and a bright team. I look at the teams behind them also, just because their team is just as important as them. So, yeah.
Yeah, and it really does show like a maturation of the industry. Because like you said, like 10 years ago when the internet hit, everybody wanted to be a rapper.
Yeah.
But now as time goes on, you know, you're getting to see more people play those, you know, auxiliary roles, as you said, as the videographers, the photographers, the managers, the party promoters. The whole industry kind of had to change due to the internet. And originally, everybody kind of looked at it like, well, my only way to get into the industry, play the game, is as an artist, as the front person, you know. So...
No, I think you're 100% right. I think what the internet might have done, or that internet age that maybe we're still in, maybe we're not, it's kind of gray at the moment, is that the idea of democratized technology is something I bring up a lot when I talk on the radio and everything, is what we're doing right now is democratized technology. You know what I mean? The fact that we can go live and do this. Technology is reaching a point where like we're so fragmented. Like, yes, back in the day you had to focus only on being an artist, because that was the only, you know, that
was the way in.
But that was a big thing. And now you can do it from your bedroom. You know what I mean? It's like it's become a little more democratized. So I think it's allowed people to experiment more with like their different tastes and interests and stuff. Whereas like even 5 years ago, you couldn't experiment nearly as much. Like if you want to be a videographer, you got an iPhone, like you can see if that's something you're interested in via that. You don't have to buy a DSLR for $5,000.
Right.
You know, I probably overestimated that amount by a lot just now, but you know what I mean? Like you don't have to spend your bank account on getting a camera and then finding out you don't like. You know, it's that idea like when you're a kid, your parents don't want to buy you like the tuba because what, you want to play a tuba for 2 months? You know, like it's that same idea.
Yeah, it's just that like you said, technology has allowed the barrier for entry into the industry to go down. So like you said, like all industries really, you know, like if you want to be an actor before, you might have to really go to New York, LA. Now you can just go on YouTube and upload your own stuff. You want to be a video director, maybe you couldn't afford, but now you could use your phone. Like the entry into different industries, all of them has really been broken down because of the internet. And it's like we're really seeing the result, or the early, I don't know, beginnings of what's that going to be for the next 20 or 30 or so years, you know?
Yeah, and I think that's interesting. I mean, ironically enough, it plays into exactly why the reason we're all here, which is nice enough. But the idea where I get democratized technology, that term from, is Kevin Koval on Comedy Central Daily Show. When he talked to Trevor Noah, he like brought up the idea of democratized technology, and that's what I like really try to champion here in Chicago, is like pushing that envelope. So that's why, you know, we're here at a radio station that we're doing independently, pushing a TV show that we can do independently, having a website we can do independently, you know, all those elements of that. I think the Midwest especially is primed for that, whether it is Chicago, Minneapolis, Milwaukee, Detroit. I think we're primed for it because we've been ignored for so long by the sides of the country. Like, you know, they call us flyover country, you know, the coast, the coastal elites. You know, they don't pay attention to us as much. We haven't had industries, and you don't have record labels in Milwaukee. We used to have them in Chicago.
They have indie labels.
You know what I mean? We all exist on indies. So I think we're primed to be at this point in the conversation or in the history, you know what I mean, to kind of like maybe exert our power. You know, everyone's trying to sell shirts in Midwest, but now it's time for the Midwest to kind of come up. And that's talking to a dude from St. Louis and a guy from Milwaukee, so I know I'm in agreement.
Yeah,
they say something about Chicago.
Tanel doesn't like talk on the microphone.
I think they say something about Chicago too, because this is the mecca of the Midwest in a way. You know what I'm saying?
In a way, it is.
Yeah, 100%. So that's all I have to say.
That was Tanel's 2 cents. Tanel's 2 cents. Forever after this. All right, man. Well, our man Anthony brought us some music along with him. We're gonna jump into a few songs real quick. Give ourselves a break. We need to, re-up on the drinks a little bit, grab a smoke real fast, and take it easy. You guys need to listen to some music. For all you listening, thank you again. It's Jake Krez, my man Ryan. I never know what you want me to call you for your last name, so I just call you Ryan. Souls of Liberty. My fault, bro. And my man Anthony. Help me with your last name, my friend.
Okay, so we'll make this easier for everyone. We can just call me Ant from now on.
Ant.
But
my name
is
Anthony
Milwaukee. Doffick. It'll pop up on any show I'm doing or any real project I'm doing. If you want to follow me online, all social, just follow me on Ant from 414. So just type in Ant, A-N-T, from 414. And yeah, that's it. That's all you got to do.
And we'll be right back. We're going to jump into this one. It's Frank Ocean Whip Appeal. Enjoy it. This is Jake Krez, the crew. We're here. We'll be back. It's kind of hot. Kind of hot. Hey, we back. Mild Sauce Radio. It's Jake Krez, my man Ryan. We're here with Anthony, Ant 414 from Milwaukee. We're talking Milwaukee music. We're talking Midwestern things. We're talking all sorts of independent music topics. We had a few songs there. A bunch from Ant. You want to take us through any of them in particular? Some of your selections for no, absolutely not.
I do not.
All right, it was just some songs you liked. Just some songs you liked. That's good.
That's my SoundCloud playlist.
That was a tastemaker situation for all you internet fans out there.
No, I'm just playing. One of those songs where it's called Starstruck by Launcey Fox.
I saw that one. Actually, that was the last one we played from yours. Yeah.
Yeah. So that one's really dope. It's really slept on. It's only at 100K right now, which isn't slept on, but
relatively so.
It dropped a little while ago, and it's pretty dope.
That's what's up. So what's happening in Milwaukee right now? What should people be keeping an eye out for in the
right now? I
the
think
sister city.
I think the top artists right now that are coming from there, I think they're really just in that mode where they're creating all their product right now. It's real quiet. I mean, there's a lot of shows.
I hear that.
Independent shows that are out there right now from some of the artists that have sort of on the come up, but I think it's pretty much quiet for as far as announcements and just rappers putting out any product. There's a few songs here and there by you got Ish and Webster X, and I mean there's very few, but it's pretty quiet right now. Usually the time where they drop is the typical spring and summer.
Absolutely. What in particular? Who's the artist you really looking at? You mentioned Ishtar, Webster X.
Ishtar is probably the one that will probably be most noticed when I say that name. I like Reggie Bonds. He's very lyrical and conscious and incorporates just songwriting skills. Ish, I love his. I think it was his first official project he dropped. That was my favorite one from him. I haven't really caught up on.
What was the name of that? Was that the one? Too Bad? Yeah. I love that part. That was one of my favorites actually.
So that one was really big. Webster X, for him, I really haven't heard listen to his projects he's putting out. I know a few of his notable songs like Doomsday, which he shot the video for and did really well.
Question. This is a random hip hop question I got, but who's the biggest rapper from Milwaukee in history?
Well, now statistically, we're gonna say Cuckoo Cow.
Okay.
Statistically, Cuckoo Cow. Tank is an R&B singer. He's
okay. Shout out to Tank.
Yeah. Jacob Lattimore is from Milwaukee.
Okay.
You'll have a lot of behind Ray Nitty's from Milwaukee.
Okay, here he is.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a few that are kind of, I wouldn't say one-hit wonders, but one-hit wonders. And then I'd say all around, success and statistically online, Ishtar is probably the biggest one. Milwaukee, but we have Madison, which is blowing up too.
Right.
More of a comedic and kind of hit type of rapper as Young Gravy.
Okay.
He's from Madison.
Okay.
How far is that from Milwaukee?
It's about an hour and a half, 2 hour drive.
Okay. Madison from Milwaukee. Okay.
So we'd like to have some recurring bits throughout our shows, and one of the ones that we've been trying to establish is the Don Rob's one question.
I am not excited about this, but let's do it.
It's where Don Rob gets to come in, and those of you who aren't familiar with Don Rob, he's
producer extraordinary, one of the greatest songwriters of all time, and probably might sleep with your baby mama.
He's a real dapper young man. He's out here in the streets, ladies. If you need anything,
Phenomenal cardigan.
we can get you his card. But we're gonna segue here into Don Rob's one question.
Let's do it.
Don.
I wish we had how they on Breakfast Club they had a Charlemagne donkey. I wish we could have that, but we gonna get that next.
We got sound
Let's do it.
We gonna get the sound effects coming. So okay, this is a Don Rob's one question. I've been talking about this all day. Okay.
We can get sound effects if you want some sound effects.
I do want some.
All right, say something else real quick for a second.
Something else.
Something else. We
What's
got.
something special going on today? Is somebody's birthday today?
Yeah, what are we doing?
It's Oz's birthday today. Hey guys.
Happy birthday.
You a big dog now.
He's been barking all day. It's been irritating actually.
I did not know that he was 22. I thought he was 23.
I didn't know you were as young as you were. I thought you were about
It's the beard.
30.
No,
Slightly.
It's just the beard.
It's just a beard.
I'm 21. Just turned 21 this past summer.
Really? How
Yeah.
fun was it?
Huh?
How fun was it?
Fun?
Yeah.
It was really fun. It was a good time. I was really drunk.
Have you been really drunk before 21?
Yeah.
So did it make a difference?
I was really drunk.
So this time you just drunk for no reason.
Well, I was drunk and I took some other things and mixed that into it and
That sounds like
made me more drunk.
It sounds like you make some mistakes. It's cool. Okay.
All right, so we're gonna try this one more time. So it's now time for the Don Rob's one question.
Phenomenal.
I feel like I gotta say something like it in Jamaican now. Boom, all right. For those of you just tuned in right now, it's the one question to Don Rob, and I've been asking this question all day. Somebody just that was a tuba over there.
It's kind of hot.
Oh, I thought it was like a fart somewhere. I looked directly at Oz. Okay, one question.
Let's do it.
Why in the fuck does John Jingle Irish Smith have the same name as mine?
You gotta say it more clearly, bro.
Please repeat.
I don't know his fucking middle name.
John Jacob Jingleheimer.
Oh, it was John Jacob Jingle Irish Smith. Is it Irish Schmidt?
Heimer Schmidt.
I think Irish Schmidt sounds better though.
Maybe.
Okay, Heimer Schmidt. Why was his name
Okay.
your name too?
Could you use the word in a sentence, please?
Not a fucking spelling bee. I'm sorry. Okay. If I were John Jacob Jingle Irish Smith,
Okay.
why would my name be your name too?
It's a valid question.
It's a real one.
I don't know how to approach it. Maybe one of you guys should answer it, but yes, please.
Whenever we went out,
Yeah.
the people will always shout, John Jacob Jingle Irish Smith.
I feel real slow that I still don't know what's going on while everyone's laughing. Yeah.
Not that goddamn young.
I think.
Well, I mean, I don't. Do they still do?
Okay,
Oh,
the
I
answer
know that
is,
song. I know that song. Okay.
Whenever we go out, the people always shout. The answer is that nobody fucking knows the answer to that question. Somebody tried to elaborate. And say
Man.
some crazy shit.
Yeah, I don't know. We appreciate
Don Rob's
that.
one question of the day. We'll be back again tomorrow with Don Rob's next question of the day. It doesn't necessarily need an answer.
Yeah.
It is a question.
Statement of the
we didn't
day.
tell you that we'd have an answer for the question. It's a question. Shout out Don Rob for the question.
Appreciate it.
All right, we gotta jump into some music real quick just to refresh. We're gonna do like 2 songs real fast.
Can we play some stripper music?
What kind of stripper music you want, Don Rob?
Nav has some stripper music.
Can we play, even though we've been playing Chicago music in this Mouth songs, can we please play Mystical, Shake It Fast?
Let me see what I got here. Let me see. You know, I don't got Shake It Fast on deck, but I do got this very hot Mystical song I can play. Are you okay with that?
Is it mystical? Like, is it like really just?
It's like some new age mystical that's dope. And then I'll go to a mystical song after that.
For those of you not understanding, you can't see me. I'm floating away in the mist.
This is my favorite mystical song that nobody ever heard. This kind of that was Video with Taylor Bennett. Before that, we had 22 Hours by Chance the Rapper. We took it back a little bit on this last one. We're again just hanging out at the studio. Bobby, what's up? You want to say anything to the people? You want to talk to the people?
Bobby, talk to him.
We got Bobby. What's up, bro?
Bobby Bands in this bitch, man. Y'all know what is going on, man. You know what I'm saying? We the playlist, you know what I'm saying? Chicago, you know, St. Louis too. You know what I'm saying? You know how we do it. You know what I'm saying?
And there it is. And that's it. And that's all it is. Don Rob, you want to get a word in?
Are you finna shut down?
No, man. We just no, you got your furry collar. I thought.
I already asked my question. Well, we already did the question today. Yeah, Toenail just walked in, so it's all good. Flamed. Don't add your shit neither. All right, I just want to come in and say something nice to everybody because I feel like you've been listening to music for an extremely long time. You need somebody to say something nice to you. So if you are a college student and the person that you had a crush on is not paying attention to you, this is for you. Whatever the song that we play next is going to make you a crush. Fuck you, I guess. Is that going to happen? We're looking at the stats. It's probably going to happen. Looking at it.
Don't give up what's on my computer, bro.
I'm sorry.
Damn. We're not about to play some music right now. We're going to talk about some shit. One of the things that we could talk about is false alarms. False alarms. Like today, they sent off a whole alarm in Hawaii saying that a nuclear bomb was coming. Could you imagine what kind of bullshit that would be?
It said this is
hold on. Could we go to Don Rob real quick? Don Rob, how would Chicagoans react to a false nuclear bomb warning?
For one, I'm going to be sarcastic real quick. I'm just going to speak for all Chicagoans because I know every person in Chicago. So, So, that's one. Two, as a real Chicagoan, if there was a nuclear bomb threat, it depends on where you're going. If you're in the black neighborhoods, we don't believe nothing nobody really say. But then we do at the same time. Then you might go to the white neighborhoods that might shit me, might something. But I don't know. A real Chicagoan, maybe just like, fuck it.
Eloquently said.
I'm leaving. You got pizza, so eloquence is all about life.
Shout out the pizza. No, but for real, they did totally tweak, and that happened today.
Let's talk about Joe Budden.
Joe Budden. Let's talk about Joe Budden.
Joe Budden.
Joe Budden flexed the shit out of his co-host on the.
Hold on, we're taking an intermission for Don Rob once again.
We have a Don Rob intermission.
I'm done. Okay. If the pizza man come, do you have to sign the paper?
No.
The receipt, or can you just let the shit just go?
Let it go.
Okay. Thank you. That's all I want.
You should get a stamp where you could just stamp your signature. No, but Joe Budden, man. Joe Budden Complex left the. What the hell was the name of the show? I don't even.
Everyday Struggle.
Damn, my bad. That actually was evidence of exactly what I was about to say.
Is
that it lost a lot of relevance after that.
ESPN Sports Center.
I will say it started picking up steam after a while, just because Complex behind and they got a lot of money.
to now I love you, but I gotta disagree with you. Like,
Correct.
Nadeska is an amazing reporter, is great in front of the camera, is a great one person in front of the camera type person, but I don't know that she's a great host of a show yet. I think she might grow into that someday. I'm not trying to hate on Nadeska Alexis because she's actually probably the one bright spot of that show. But academics is trash. We in Chicago.
I'll have to disagree.
All right, so
Hold on. Wait.
All right,
Wait.
I'm gonna get some-
Anthony. Oh yeah, we gotta hold on. Anthony just defended academics.
I have to disagree.
Don Rob, we might have to get the whole gang over here real quick. Yeah, he's trying to.
Nah.
I don't even know. This is like someone defining a Trump vote right now. I'm not trying to lump you with the Trump side.
Define trash.
Yeah, how define trash?
You saying academics is trash.
I'm saying academics is
Define
trash. No, I'm saying he's trash.
I know. How is he?
You're making me define trash.
Yeah.
Okay.
How is he trash?
I would say that academics is trash in the same way that like a Vlad TV is trash. Now, as somebody who has written about rap music for quite a bit of time, but like the last 5 years of my life, 6 years of my life, I'm not from a lot of the places that the people I write about are from. I haven't had the same backgrounds, same experiences, but the reason I write the stories is because I appreciate them. When I write those stories, I write them from a standpoint of being respectful of the person's experience, like not putting myself in that experience, not trying to place myself in the experience of others, be like a reporter of it. What DJ Academics does is, I could say a lot of like reasons for why he does it, but I'm not going to get into that.
Yeah.
He's very much a proprietor of controversy, a man who enjoys pushing the buttons because he can push the buttons from behind a screen. Now, I could never do something like Academics does because I like to go out in the city of Chicago. And like if I did the things Academics did to make myself famous and made those sacrifices, my sacrifices wouldn't just be like superficial. They would also be like me not being able to go anywhere in the city and also get my ass kicked. So the fact that DJ Academics does not get his ass kicked for the things he says and does, and there's no repercussions, is I think a symptom of the new media landscape. And therefore I think he's trash because Joe Budden can go ahead and say anything he wants because he has street cred. And there's a difference between having street cred and having a diploma.
But
That's my side. You asked me.
Ryan,
Okay.
are you with me on this?
Well-
Academics isn't trash, or are you with him?
okay, it's not that I feel like academics is trash. That's why I want to know why you say he was trash. Now, from a journalistic standpoint, yes, completely trash. He is completely trash, but that's a lot of people. But from a, do I think that he's honest, telling the truth, and he's really saying how he really feels? I actually do. So from that standpoint, I don't know if I think he's trash from more than I think he's just kind of stupid. So if you're stupid, if that makes you trash, then yes, he's trash. But
I think that if you are not intelligent enough to realize that what you're saying is stupid or ignorant, therefore you are trash. That would be my equation. If you had to ask me for an equation for a trash individual.
But dumb people entitled to their own opinion.
No, that's what I'm saying. But he's insinuating that he's saying stupid things, but is not smart enough to understand that he's saying stupid shit.
Well, we get it. What's the real topic is what?
Joe Budden, Joe Budden, Everyday Struggle, and DJ Academics. We're talking about all of them. Right now, we're on DJ Academics. Here's my thought on it. I think he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. Academics, absolutely. He knows what he's doing. He knows he's not liked, and I think he knew going into. I mean, if you look back at his old YouTube videos, how he would speak on there, he talked a lot of shit, but it works, and at the end of the day, when he breaks down and reasons why he says things, they make sense, and they're respectable coming from somebody. You know, a lot of rappers say that he should be ran up on, but I've never seen him ran up on before. He's totally accessible.
And
you
I
don't
will-
deserve to be.
All right, so I'll agree. I will agree with you to a point.
Yeah.
But I think that if you're gonna put yourself in a position to be the kind of person that he wants to be, you have to be willing to accept like the consequences of being that person.
Here's the thing I wanted to speak about.
But I don't think I also think a guy like Charlamagne the God, you notice. Yes, throughout. Hold on. Let me get an idea off my chest real quick. Let me get an idea off my chest. My thought is that if you every situation we see on TV, with the exception of like Andy Kaufman on like cable television or TV, has been scripted. You know what I'm saying? Any like fake controversy has been scripted. The thing is, I think anything between a Joe Budden and somebody else can be figured out outside of the camera. I don't believe the fact that DJ Akademiks can handle himself outside of the camera. I think that it's a totally superficial situation. I know for a fact when Vic Mensa showed up there, he did not discuss the fact that he was going to call him a bitch on TV. Now, a guy who knows he's going to be called a bitch on TV before he goes on TV and knows that that's going to be a thing that he can flip, I agree. That's a strategy. But Akademiks out here taking L's like left and right from like that he doesn't know about and then trying to flip them into wins. We also talked about recently on another show his court case that he's trying to build up and say that he's like down because he got a court case that may or may not be real. There's a lot of shit with that guy that just is a little too fishy to me, and I don't know. I'm not saying I'm any better than he is. I just think that his shit's a little.
I wanna
because he got cussed out by Vic Mensa on the internet.
I think that he's willing to take if his strategy is to take L's, he's not taking strategic L's. He's taking L's he doesn't know and then trying to spin them however he can.
I want to interrupt for a second just because it's hard to kind of come in between because it's such a long. Him getting cussed out by Vic Mensa, I don't think he should stop what he's doing and confront that. I think it brings numbers to the show. He has to respond in an appropriate sense for him to keep his job, and that's just what he does. He is willing to take those headlines of Vic Mensa coming up to Complex and snapping and doing whatever. Also, another thing I want to add is a show like Everyday Struggle is what I believe Rap's first sports center, in which they discuss topics solely based around that most of the time.
I mean,
and I think if you look at it in that, everyone talks about rap and it's like a sport and everything. But when they start to do things like sports do, when they have sportscasters, look at Joe Budden. He's a retired rapper. Look, you got retired sports players being analysts and things of that sort. They're trying to transfer that into their culture too.
Don't forget Yo MTV Raps, The Basement. There's been a lot of
but this is solely highlighting.
And no one here has hated on Joe Budden.
No.
I think everyone here is in the corner of Joe Budden. Yeah, like between
all
of us, we all love Joe. Shout out Joe Budden. We're all for you, bro. Huh? What did you say?
That show's done.
Yeah.
Personally, hey, Joe Budden, if you ever hear, I know you in the podcast and random shit. If you ever hear this, Tanel from St. Louis, you can rap, bro. Don't let these little niggas talk crazy about you and shit and call you a hater and all that shit. I really would like to hear you rip Quavo ass. And that's all I got to say about Joe Budden. Joe Budden is an excellent rapper. He's a great analysis. DJ Akademiks, he a lame nigga, but he doing him. Let him do him. You know what I'm saying? And it is what it is.
DJ Akademiks is great at pulling in numbers, his social shows, and
he like Stephen A. Smith. He might get
and
on
he
your
did.
nerves,
I think.
like,
Yeah, I think he
whatever.
complimented Joe Budden in a phenomenal way for that show. It's unfortunate that show has gone downhill, but it's bright because I think there'll be more in the future.
I don't think what is DJ Akademiks going to do after this though?
DJ Akademiks probably has more shows he's involved in, and his brand is a lot bigger right now. Not saying I agree with everything he does, but he does it right and he does it his own way, so I gotta respect that.
What people don't want to acknowledge about DJ Akademiks is though there is a legion of people that follow him because they think like him.
Yeah.
So it's like
He an internet nigga. Everybody get online. LeBron ain't shit. He a bitch ass nigga. You don't really feel that way. You know what I'm saying? But you can say that and express that, and he's doing that within media. He's expressing his complaints and random shit. You know what I mean?
He's a physical embodiment of a Twitter account, essentially.
He creates phenomenal debates online. He gives an outlet to people to debate online, whether it's like vicious or whether it's like a fair debate. Like, and that's why I respect about him.
I think what we have to ask ourselves is, do we need more forums for public debate online? I'm just fucking with you. I'm just grinding your gears this, man. My bad, bro. My bad.
No, you ain't gonna
but
grind my
we had
gears.
this
Your
conversation
opinion.
last time we were hanging out here, and it was like we kind of got to the point of like Vlad TV.
Ah, fuck him.
But Vlad's not far from DJ Akademiks. If you're from Chicago, like if you can't accept DJ Akademiks and
Vlad's just weird.
Everybody not gonna like everything. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you don't gotta like what people do. A lot of people don't like what Trump doing. He the president. It is what it is. it's not fair to you, but that's the game. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you losing. You know?
Okay, so next subject. I think it's appropriate to move on
Do it
to
up.
the next subject.
Nah,
Yeah,
we don't discuss that man on our radio station.
we got pizza in here right now. What kind of pizza we got?
We got Chicago's Pizza and Pasta.
That's what it's called? Let's give a review on this pizza.
Spinach is very lit on the pizza.
Should we give a review on this pizza right now?
I think we should eat some. We're gonna play some music real quick,
We will
and
be
then we're
back.
gonna eat some of the pizza real fast, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna tell you
excited
about
to
the
try
pizza. I don't know. I think we're gonna do this song called "Cash Machine" by this dude named Dram. Check it out, y'all. It's kind of hot. Only 3-6 Mafia. Where's the Bud? We had.
It wasn't 3-6 Mafia. It was Lord Infamous. Lord Infamous. This nigga over here.
That was on a 3-6 Mafia album, so go fuck yourself. Lord Infamous song on 3-6 Mafia.
First of all, if you don't know,
He just treated y'all, so don't say nothing else.
she don't
If
even
I-
know who Lord Infamous is.
It don't matter.
No, she's on my side because audio shit.
She on your side of the table, nigga.
Yeah, that too.
Damn.
Over there on your empty side of the table, Don Rob.
Middle of the
Hey, we got to wrap things up. We had our man from Milwaukee in town, Ant 414. Yo, awesome chopping it up with you, man. Like, we've had a hectic evening
It's
over
been
here,
long. It's been a
but
long
this
day.
has been a really fun time. Excited to get all this stuff happening with you. For those of you out in the streets listening to music, everyone who catches this, make sure you check out our episodes of Driven that are coming up soon. You can catch the last season on YouTube.
DrivenEpisodes, all in one word.
There you go.
That's the name of it. You will know that you are on the correct video if you see a white man sitting in a chair,
White man sitting in a chair.
and that's the way you'll find it.
All right, man. Hey, thank you so much for coming through, taking the trip down to Chicago. We're going to have you on plenty more in the future, so everybody keep an eye out for that. Once again, man, this has been Mild Sauce Radio. I'm Jay Krez,
Big Esco, Souls of Liberty.
and we got our man Anthony Ant 414. Thank you again, man, for
Appreciate
coming
it.
down.
If you want to follow me on anything,
Give us that. Not
if you want to
bad.
follow me on anything, Ant from 414. All social media.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
He got that uniform social
I
media.
I even have a Tumblr, so.
There it is. All right, man.